Hey, how you doing? Just a resilience story, little chat today. So, in the UK, back in December, there's a guy who passed away called Benjamin Zephaniah. He was a poet, a writer, an activist, a humanitarian. Just amazing guy, prominent in the world of speaking up against injustices, against people of colour, against black people, but also, working class. Just an amazing guy. Passed away unexpectedly, and so people like myself, kind of a certain generation, born around people who were born in 60s or 70s, etc. Many of us within the black community looked up to him, respected him because of what he stood for. He stood up, against injustice, and for what was right, and was principled. And he stood by those principles, stood up for what was right, even when, there were consequences involved for him in doing that. And so, a few years ago I read his autobiography, and it was amazing, discussing his life growing up. He grew up in the same part of Birmingham in the UK that I did. I think for some of us, I guess we viewed him as a big brother in a number of ways. He was similar to one of my brothers in that he was a rastafarian. But his life was full of many challenges. He was dyslexic. He had a torrid time at school, and all kinds of things. But he didn't let that prevent him from going on to be, a poet or a writer. He's written a few books. My eldest son is reading one of his children's or teen books. More recently read one. Just all kinds of challenges growing up in inner city Birmingham back in those days. 60s, 70s, 80s. Hassles with the police on a daily basis for many young, black men those days. This resilience story is about Benjamin Zephaniah and what he stood for, what he represented, and his legacy that he leaves with many of us who looked up to him as a big brother, in some ways as a role model. And the message today is he was a regular guy, just like you and I, a regular guy, but went from being that regular guy to someone who showed all of us what resilience looks like. He lived it on a daily basis and continued to live it until the day he passed away. So his autobiography is called The Life and Rhymes of Benjamin Zephaniah. It's also available in audiobook, just how I read it, listened to it. It's definitely worth checking out. All right, take care, bless up, and one love, peace.